Zadran says the final will be won by whomever Zadran chooses on the day. Strap in, cricket.
And yeah, I think it's safe to say that New Zealand have already won their final. They've done everything that they needed to do. They've celebrated, they've praised themselves, they've lifted themselves off their normal New Zealandness.
Yes, well, you can understand why there were such massive celebrations. If you'd ever done anything 6 times in a row and failed on all 6 occasions, and then number 7 came up trumps, I think you'd go noisily berserk, as New Zealand, not just in the stadium, but as an entire nation did when they won the semi-final. It was great to see as a cricket fan, and yeah, it was an incredible game. I was right from the very start when Trent Boult started with a couple of early wickets, which proved to be ultimately a match-winning performance.
Yeah, match-winning.
Match-winning. Then you had Vettori keeping it tight as always. That ultimately proved probably decisive. That to me was a match-winning performance as well. Yeah. Corey Anderson, although he got hit around a bit, picked up some crucial wickets to slow the scoring down. That was probably a match-winning performance for me. And then, of course, Brendan McCullum, definitely a match-winning performance with the bat for him. And let's not forget Guptill as well. Never done well against South Africa. Batted very well until he was run out. Those 30-odd runs he got proved ultimately match-winning for me. Then a crucial little innings from Ross Taylor as well, match-winning performance. Then, of course, Corey Anderson came in, already one match-winning performance, a second match-winning performance with the bat, and then the ultimate match-winning performance, of course, Grant Elliott, superb match-winning innings from him, and key little cameo at the end from Daniel Vettori to win the match too. So a lot of match-winning, but generally the match was won by the crowd and the rain.
Yeah, and now all New Zealand have to do is win the explosive, emotional, very important final, and again.
Yes, well, yeah, but I mean, if you consider the World Cup only to have happened in New Zealand, which from the slight lack of excitement we've seen in some of the places we've been in Australia, is essentially the case. They've already won it. Done.
So, Doc, back in Melbourne, city of coffee, we finally reached the end. Finally.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we were both still alive at the start of this tournament.
So, who's your pick for the final?
Well, hard to pick a loser in this one, Frederick. Both teams really don't seem to have much interest in playing really badly. Unlike some of the other sides in this tournament I could mention. I think if New Zealand wins, the North Island and the South Island might just get off with each other.
Oh, that might go a couple of steps further even than that, Doc. Getting pretty excited over there. Media getting pretty excited here too. If we win, it could really help pass another day until the footy season starts.
I think the most important thing that happened yesterday was MS Dhoni's run. I don't know if it's fair to call it a run at this point. It started as a run, went into a jog, then went into a walk, and then went into a give up. Which is sort of like India's innings, if you look at it. They did start looking quite good for a little while, and you thought, oh, this could be something, and then it just sort of gave away so slowly that you didn't even really notice it, Andy. It's just like, over time you realise that there was nothing left.
Yes, although with India's innings, they'd never entirely looked like making it, whereas if Dhoni had done maybe 1.5 more steps at full pace, he would have made
Put his bat out?
Yeah, put his bat out, maybe just done any of the basic running between the wickets essentials that you're trained to do as a baby, really. I would also say James Faulkner's bowling pretty much summed up the innings. Started off 0 for 29 off 2, got absolutely hammered, then picked up a wicket in his third over, then kept it tight and ended up with a double wicket maiden. That was a spell that absolutely summed up the entire innings.
Yeah, well, at one stage he had every player around the bat, but to be fair, if it was Brendan McCullum, he would have had more.
McCullum would have had, I think he'd have had 40,000 New Zealanders around the bat.
I think he did at times.
He did. Well, I mean, those boundaries are quite small.
Andy, as David Gower, your spiritual leader, would say, this is a crunch game.
Yeah, it's crunch cubed, I think.
Crunch cubed?
It's beyond crunch, it's beyond crunch, it's crunch cubed.
At this stage, New Zealand haven't seen the MCG, I think, in 5 years. They haven't played a test at the MCG since Richard Hadley couldn't get Mike Whitney out. Not good signs for them. Not good history. It was in 1986, I think, but still, it did happen.
And Mike Whitney went on to appear in Neighbours, so when that tells you everything you need to know.
Exactly. My biggest fear for New Zealand is the fact that the ground is 10 times bigger than the ones they've been playing on, that the ball may not swing, and it's a completely different kind of pitch. And I think that's why Australia could win. What do you think?
Well, I think Australia could win because they've got a really good team, but then that could equally be said of New Zealand.
New Zealand probably have a better team.
Do you think so?
A better team. They don't have a weak
team.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whereas Australia maybe have a better...
It's a bit more punchy.
Yeah, I see that. It's very exciting. It could go either way. You know, it's definitely a big win for the Southern Hemisphere. I maintain the Northern Hemisphere is a greater hemisphere overall, but in cricketing terms at the moment, you guys definitely have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think New Zealand's confidence will be so high that those factors that you mentioned, the fact that the pitch is larger than most New Zealand towns,
countries,
could clearly be crucial. But I think they've got the players to overcome that, and maybe the lack of familiarity with Melbourne could actually be a benefit, because I've been to Melbourne before, and when I was there I managed to get lost in a basic grid system, which so maybe their lack of familiarity, just go hit the ball.
Will New Zealand get lost in a basic grid system? Will Australia get crunched? Crunch.
We're not worried by the fact that out of 17 games in World Cup history between teams who've met earlier in the same tournament, the side that lost the first one have won only 3 of the rematches.
No, I'm not, Doc, because 2 of those 3 were Australia. Come on, Aussie. Can't wait, though. Stark against McCullum. Oh, yeah.
The irresistible force against the movable object, who quite often smashes you to pieces whilst he's moving, in front of 90,000.
Which, coincidentally, is also the year scientists predict England will reach another World Cup semi-final.
Yes. Looking forward to that one too. Which one of these has sugar in it?